All right, explaining the hide-and-seek game that she was playing with her longtime boyfriend, Jorge Torres, ended up dying in that suitcase. Michael Gottlieb is watching along with this criminal defense attorney in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This case getting ready for trial tomorrow, or Wednesday is that final pretrial hearing, and then it will be time to start picking a jury next week. This case, boy, has really, I mean, it's extended for years because partly Sarah Boone couldn't get along with any of her attorneys. And you listen to her, she's has an interesting affect where she's very intense at times and kind of likes to battle as she's being interviewed, did it a little bit on the body camera, but she's engaging as well on a weird level. What's your take at of this defendant, and if she is going to go with some sort of battered spouse syndrome, does she take the stand? She has to take the stand, right? If she's going to allege prior abuse at the hands of the victim?
Yeah, so it's a confusing defense to me. Either it's a mistake and he put himself in the suitcase, or it's battered spouse syndrome, which is an affirmative defense akin to self-defense, saying that he's, you know, my longtime lover has beaten me and abused me for so long that I now took a proactive step, and in order to ensure that he's not going to beat me again, you know, I took care of him. I defended myself proactively. It's confusing. I think that her affect is so flat. She shows no signs of remorse, no signs of feeling badly that her longtime lover is deceased and that he suffocated and died in a suitcase in her house. She drank wine, if I recall correctly, right around the time or at the time she found him. It just doesn't seem to make sense, and she seems too controlled and contrived. I don't see this defense working.
Yeah, and there's none of that in this interrogation. There's none of this, like, I was so scared of him feel. I mean, she's literally talking about this bizarre game of hide and seek. But, I mean, if you're really going to tell jurors that you were scared to the point where you kept him zipped up because you thought he was going to, again, be abusive to you, this is all going to come in, and right? I mean, and it just doesn't seem to be a theme now. Yeah, years later, now this maybe is your defense, but it's not a theme in those moments after this took place.
Right. Her statement to the police is less of a confession and more of a statement of this was accidental, this was hide and seek. He purposely got out the suitcase, which was buried way back in the closet. He put himself in there. I didn't zip him up in it. And now her defense has morphed into this battered woman syndrome or battered spouse syndrome. And the two just don't jive. I mean, you know, it's not logically consistent. And a jury's going to want to hear a logically consistent defense from both the lawyers and her if she testifies. And again, I really just don't see it. I'm not buying it.
Here's some of the body camera video right the moment that the police showed up on the scene. Here's her demeanor, again, not mentioning anything about being a victim of spousal abuse.
They're going to know what we're here, what we're investigating, and that they're going to think I killed him.
Why would they think that?
They always have said that. They've always have said that. I told you it's because I'm the blue-eyed white dragon. That's what they call me. Because they don't want him with me. So he's basically just not really been around his family because he chooses me over them.
Yeah, again, she's talking specifically about him. Later, she went on to say that she has done everything for him, and it's just that she comes across initially as loving towards him, or she really feels, put it this way, there's never a, like, this guy was after me theme, and you better have that, right?
Yeah, again, that her affect there is just as strange as it is when she's giving the statement. You know, she's not showing fear if it's a battered spouse syndrome defense, and she's not showing any remorse or she's not crying. You still have the yellow crime scene tape up. It is fresh. You would expect some kind of emotion other than what appears to be cold and calculated from an individual who's telling a story. She just doesn't even seem at all affected by what just happened inside of her townhouse there.
Yeah, and not afraid of her now late boyfriend. Let's get a break. When we come back.